listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again. Today, we have another show with our special guest, Dr. Parul Dua Makkar. And she has an amazing website you can check out. Is ParulDuaMakkar.com. She's going to share with us today about her book based on true story, Life Interrupted, Dr. Dua's Survival Guide. She is an award-winning dentist. She has done amazing work and does amazing things with her community. We're going to learn a little bit about her story today and also about what she does professionally. First and foremost, Dr. Makkar, how are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, can you kind of tell us a little bit about your professional background and how you got started and being inspired to write this book?
So I am a general dentist. I have a private practice in Long Island, New York. And this book came about after I lost my younger and only sibling to oral cancer. My brother Manu was a dentist himself, and he was battling oral cancer. And at the time of diagnosis, he just turned 32 and he was 34 at the time of passing. So this book was really his blogs that he had chronicled in his cancer journey towards the end. He knew time was very limited, and that was his outlet, writing. And after his death, I put the book together and had it published and helped complete it.
Kind of tell us a little bit about your awesome career being a dentist and educator.
So I've been speaking more so after losing my brother and talking about oral cancer as far as how to do early diagnosis among dental professionals, hygienists, dentists, and also advocating for patient advocacy as far as, getting and pushing for earlier diagnosis. If you don't know if something is off in your body, get it checked out. And so I started speaking, and this has just created me different opportunities. I now sit on the board for AOSH, which is a oral systemic link. It's between oral health and overall health, as well as I am one of American Dental Association's wellness ambassador to help doctors be better versions of themselves and, of course, advocating for oral cancer. And I speak around U.S. and Canada. I'll be a few engagements this year. And it's also led me to creating what's called a Duagoodjob symposium, which is a comprehensive approach to oral cancer. So it's beyond teaching dentists and doctors, beyond recognizing what oral cancer is, but the aftermath of it all, and how to approach it from a multidimensional approach. Cancer is not surgery and chemo and radiation, and we're done. There is a lot of emotional baggage. There is a lot of post-op care. If you've lost a part of your face, reprogramming and learning how to chew, speak, talk, swallow, all of the other facets. So that's what this journey has led me to.
And because of your younger sibling, Dr.
Yes.
Manu Dua, with that situation and what you're doing comes to prevention, what are some of the early detection signs?
Sure. So one of the most common is anything in your mouth does not heal within 2 weeks. So if let's say you're drinking hot coffee and you burnt your tongue or your roof of your mouth, or you cut yourself while brushing, or any reason you bumped yourself, or braces or denture, whatever you have, an appliance, you cut yourself, anything, even besides trauma, like a hepatic lesion or a shingles virus lesion or an ulcer, cold sores, anything should heal within 2 weeks. And if it doesn't heal, get it checked out, whether it's painful or not. Along with trouble with swallowing. So if you have a chronic cough and you're having trouble swallowing, you have a node that's inflamed on one side rather than both sides, and anything that just seems out of the ordinary would get checked out. But those are kind of the most common.
When it comes to the book Life Interrupted, walk us through the survival guide that you present to the readers and kind of explain how the process was for you to create this book and your experience?
So when Manu passed, I live in US and he was in Canada, and this was during COVID. There's very limited contact, and I couldn't say goodbye to him in person. I had to do it on a video call. I flew for the funeral, and walking into his his house, I found everything was just the same. His medications by the bed, his food still left to be eaten, dishes in the sink, everything was the same except Manu wasn't there. And that was his life interrupted. And he collected this art. He made this collection of blogs and he called it the Dr. Dua Survival Guide. And that's where the title comes from. Manu found it therapeutic to write because a lot of his cancer journey was during 2020, 2021. He passed away. And so it was during COVID, and he was in isolation through a lot of the treatments with chemo, radiation, with surgeries. And so writing was his outlet. He couldn't talk. He couldn't walk. He was very weak towards the end. And that's all he could do was watch TV and sit on his computer. So this was his therapy and helping him finish what he started. He had expressed a desire to be published. And so helping him complete his story was like a full circle as far as, getting his message out, something tangible that he and I created together, and something that will outlive us. So it was a healing process for myself as well.
What were some things he share with you, or just maybe, feedback about what you were trying to do to assist with getting this out there?
So Manu knew his diagnosis. It was terminal. He knew he was not promised a tomorrow. And in retrospect, I don't think any of us are promised a tomorrow. And he had a very tough battle with the amount of work that he needed treatment-wise. And even though he knew that he was going to die, and it was any day, he never lost hope. And he said that the human mind, body, and a spirit have a remarkable capacity to heal, and we are stronger than we can imagine. And he never lost his strength. He never lost his fight. He had resigned to whatever fate had in store for him. But he was like, I'm going to go in fighting and I'm going to give it all I got. And he never lost that hope. And he reflects upon his life journey, his mistakes, trying to achieve immortality, the love of parents, the love of puppies, unconditional love of dogs. And he just said, we're not our mistakes. And he made plenty, we all do. But it was better to have made the mistake and learn from it than keep repeating the mistakes over and over again. And he's like, we're all mortal beings and we're all going to die one day. Death should not be feared, rather respected. And living life to its fullest, not fearing of what's going to happen, but leaving a positive impact on the world behind is the way to achieve immortality of our deeds, of our actions, our thoughts that will outlive us. And that's what his focus was and what he reflected and wrote about, among other things. But it was life lessons.
This book has been recognized by some very prestigious organizations. And if you can, with the audience, kind of share with some of the recognition that this book has been able to obtain.
It's been featured internationally on several podcasts like yourself across the globe. It has also been featured by the American, Canadian, and the British dental journals. It has won the Distinguished Favorite Big Book Award by the New York City, and as well as the Colorado Independent Award, the Publishers Award. It won the best for inspirational. And it's brought me to many stages to to share the story. And the most impact that I felt with the book, besides all these awards, is people reaching out to me who felt so alone in the journey, and being able to vocalize their thoughts and felt that they weren't alone and they could reach out has been kind of the biggest award for this book.
Once again, this is Time Refocus Radio, talking to our guest today, Dr. Parul Dua Makkar. When you look at the platform you have today, as not just as a dentist, but as a speaker, you are building like a bridge for ordinary people who, you know, are probably in the mindset where they want to, you know, be on top of their game when it comes to their health and, you know, oral health. Based on your experience in dealing with, I'm sure, your clients, was some of the good practices that people can do early on, or if they are in a moment where they just have to get started, what are some of the small basic steps that people can take to have a better oral health?
Well, definitely brushing and flossing twice a day. And also, visiting your dentist every 6 months or whatever time frame that you are recommended, depending on your gum health. Getting the cavities taken care of, and getting your cleanings. All that bacteria, plaque can travel to different parts of your body and oral health has been linked to diabetes, to stroke, to Alzheimer's, to health conditions, heart conditions, cardiac issues, dementia, a whole host of things. So it's so important to have good oral health, and it improves your just your self-confidence if you have great teeth. And if you have cavities, to have them restored sooner than later. A cavity doesn't hurt when it's small. As it gets bigger and closer to the nerve, which is at the center, that's when it starts becoming a bigger issue and pain and discomfort. And you could end up losing the tooth or have a root canal. So just being diligent about your overall health care, and making sure you're going in for the recommended treatments, and asking questions. You know, if you don't understand what's being done, what a root canal is, why are we getting a deep cleaning, ask your dentist. Be vocal about your care. And if you see something that you've noticed in your mouth and hasn't healed, or you feel a bump and you want to get it checked out, bring awareness to your dentist. It should be an open dialogue between your healthcare professional and you. So maintain it, and be vocal about yourself.
People always think of the new year as, okay, it's a new slate, new opportunities, you know, new me. It's a new year, new me. But a lot of times we can get caught up in the hype of things and not sell into reality. And the reality is, at the end of the day, you just got to do it. It's like you can't just say you're going to do something, oh, I'm going to be better. You just got to do it. And the small steps that you just gave us, I mean, these are steps that we learn when we were little kids, how to, you know, brush your teeth and floss. Why you think that over the years, adults can kind of fall in place of neglecting the good practices of having good oral health?
I think life sometimes just gets in the way. You know, you are maybe living alone, you just are watching TV and you fall asleep and you don't take care of your teeth and don't brush and floss. You get busy, appointments get missed. Life just happens. And it's just a constant reminder, like, go back to taking care of yourselves, because if you don't, no one else really is going to do it for you. No one's going to come after you. It's you. You've got to take care of you. You've got to put yourself as priority. And like you said, it's a new year, new chapter, new leaf, you know, making overall, generally eating better, and maintaining your overall health is important. And that includes taking care of your teeth and your dental health.
Inside the book, Life Interrupted, Dr. Dua Survival Guide, when to the point that life happens, you know, like you said, things can go out of norm than what we plan. And sometimes our plans just don't go the way we wanted them to go. And that's just out of our control. Well, some of the things that you learned throughout this process with your brother that allowed you to gain more clarity on not just not taking life for granted, but, if you will, redeem the time that you have left?
So one of the important lessons that I learned was you're never guaranteed anything in life. I was taken away an opportunity to have more family, to have a bigger family, things that I was always thought I presumed I would have were taken away, but no fault of anyone's. And I've realized that the most important aspect of our lives, of our most precious commodity that we have, is time. And time, it's not something we can return, replace, borrow, steal. It's so finite. We have to be very clear about, or very purposeful how we spend it, who we spend it with. It's made me change my priorities and to focus my energy. I didn't know that I would have such limited time with my brother. I would have, in retrospect, obviously done things differently. But we always think, we've got tomorrow. I'll see him next week. I'll fly over next month. We'll do this next year. One day there won't be a next year, a next moment, a next day. And so really to live and really enjoy the present and cherish what you have and respect the time that you're given.
For your family to endure this and to have Dr. Dua's legacy stay true and to help assist him to make sure that this gets out to as many people as possible. I mean, that has to be a great feeling that you're doing something like that, because anyone could have chosen to say, well, it is what it is.
Absolutely. And that's with anything in life. When stuff happens, bad stuff, you can go about it saying, well, this sucks. Woe is me. Manu could have done that. Mm-hmm. Or you could try to make something better and bring light to the situation and maybe change another life. And with whatever I'm doing is to give people an understanding that oral cancer is real. It's not to be ignored, and, push for an earlier diagnosis and share Manu with the world, how he was so positive, even though his whole world was falling apart, that you are stronger and you can change the world, and hopefully a life is saved sharing the story.
It's just interesting thinking about that, because it's like at one point his world was falling apart, but with this work, he's bringing people together and also bringing awareness together. Let's touch on your speaking, because you speak to audiences across the nation, educating them, teaching them about prevention and understanding what, knowledge they need to gain to better prepare themselves, right? To adjust their lifestyle and how they go around and thinking about and doing certain things that can put them in a better position years from now. What's some of the things that you learned from speaking to many people and many professionals about this much needed awareness?
What I've learned is at the center of it all, we're generally people looking to be heard. We're looking for some commonality that binds us. And there's always so much love to be given and received. And just, you don't know what the battles people are fighting. You really don't. Not everything is picture perfect on Instagram or post worthy. There really is hard stuff, and you have little moments of joys in life and you live them fully. And when you meet somebody, and I've met many people across, sometimes all they need is a hug and a kind word, and that can change their life. Once
again, talking to our guest today, Dr. Parul. Dua Makkar, and she has a website that you can go to right now, and it's ParulDuaMakkar.com. Make sure you get her book on Amazon, Life Interrupted, Dr. Dua's Survival Guide. Before we let you go, when people ask you questions after you speak or just follow-ups, what's some of the similar questions that you're getting from people after they hear you speak and when they, just learn more about you as a professional?
Some of the questions I've been asked is, were you angry at Manu, angry at the situation? That you're not alone. I've gone through this and I understand your pain. I didn't have a voice. Thanks for giving me a voice. And thank you for making the profession stand up and take care of it, because a lot of people are so ignorant of the fact in general public that you can actually get a cancer in the mouth. And before it's actually diagnosed, sometimes it's too late. It's such a vascular area and it spreads very quickly. And so just having the profession sit up and understand and take notice and advocate for it. And that's the irony of it all, is what he died from and what his profession and my profession is, that it can happen to anybody and we're not superhuman. We're not devoid of any sort of illness. We just have to take care. And that's been a mixed response from the audience that I've heard. It's always been encouraging, but a range of emotions. I've had people come up to me and just cried. They're like, we've never met you. We've just heard you speak. I just heard about what happened. And thank you for sharing. And they'll just come and give me a hug and just cry because how affected they were.
Once again, I want to say thanks to our guest today, Dr. Parul Dua Makkar, talking to us not just about your brother, but about the book that I think is a special gift for, a new year for people to treat themselves with or give to someone else to gift or for them to check out themselves. Once again, you get it at Amazon. It's Life Interrupted, Dr. Dua's Survival Guide. You can also visit her website personally and just go type ParulDuaMakkar.com and learn more about what she does with speaking, her blog, and other resources on her website. If anything I left out was one thing you want our audience call to action to not just keep in touch with you, but any additional information you have.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Dua, D-U-A, good job. Dua is my maiden name, and it's a pun off the word. So Dua, good job, and then they'll have about the symposium that we're doing to bring more awareness, and of course a way to reach out to me. And and grab a copy. It's a great book. It's not about cancer. It's about life and life lessons.
Well, once again, I want to say thanks to you, Dr. Makkar, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.